All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving into one of the most hands-on, practical personality types out there, the ISTP. You might know them as the crafter. Now, these aren't the folks who just talk a big game. Nope, they're the ones out there actually doing the work. So what really makes them tick? Let's find out. Think about the people in your life for a second. Have you ever met that one person who just seems to operate on a completely different wavelength, especially when things get totally chaotic? Imagine this. A crisis hits. Everyone else is freaking out. The stress is palpable, right? But this person, they're just cool, totally calm. They're just watching, taking it all in, and you can almost see them focus. And here's the thing. They don't just talk about what should be done. When something's actually broken, a gadget, maybe even a car engine, they're the one who just naturally steps up and starts fixing it. They don't even wait to be asked. So while the rest of the room is stuck in this endless loop, just debating ideas and theories, this person, they've already rolled up their sleeves and started working. If that sounds familiar, yeah, you've probably met an ISTP. Okay, so what's behind those four letters, ISTP? What do they actually stand for? Well, you can think of them as the code, the blueprint to this whole personality. Let's crack it open, shall we? First up, we have I for introvert. Now hold on, for an ISTP, this isn't about being shy or antisocial. Not at all. It's really about energy management. They recharge their batteries by doing stuff, quietly, skillfully, away from all the social drama and small talk that can be so draining. Next is S for sensing, and this one is absolutely key. ISTPs are grounded. They live in the real world. They trust what they can see, what they can touch, what they can test themselves. Forget all the abstract what-ifs. For them, it's all about the tangible what is. Then comes T for thinking. When an ISTP is making a call, it's all about logic, pure and simple. They're not asking, how does this make me feel? Nope, they're asking, what works? What's the most efficient path from A to B? It's about that clean, objective line to a solution. And finally, we've got P for perceiving. And this is all about freedom. ISTPs need room to breathe. They thrive on flexibility, on having options. They want that space to improvise and adapt, which is exactly why they can't stand rigid rules and strict schedules. It just boxes them in. So there you have it, the code. Introverted, sensing, thinking, perceiving. But, okay, that's the theory. What does this actually look like in the real world? Let's move from the letters to seeing them in action. Okay, picture this. You're out with a group, maybe on a bike ride, and bam, a chain snaps. What happens? Most people are just standing around, kind of helpless, wondering what to do. But the ISTP? They're already on the ground, hands dirty, figuring out how to fix it. They see a problem, they attack it. That's it. Or, hey, how about this one? A group project at work. The meeting is just dragging on, right? Endless talk about strategy and synergy. The ISTP is the one squirming in their chair, just thinking, can we please just start making this thing already? That's because they think best when they're doing. Now, this get-it-done attitude can be, it can be really misunderstood. Let me tell you about this guy, Arjun. Back in school, his teachers were always on his case. You don't focus, they'd say, just because he'd tune out during long lectures. And his friends? They just thought he was quiet because he wasn't into all the chatter. But here's the twist. Those things people saw as weaknesses, they were actually his superpowers. Anytime something broke, guess who fixed it? Arjun. And down the road, while his friends were all stressing out trying to figure out their careers, Arjun had already launched his own business, just solving problems. And his story just nails the core of what it means to be an ISTP. Their real classroom isn't a classroom at all. It's a workshop. Their textbook isn't a book. It's a broken engine. They learn by doing, period. So, because they're a little different, a lot of misconceptions and myths pop up around ISTPs. It's time to do a little myth busting, don't you think? Let's separate what's real from what's just wrong. All right, myth number 1. ISTPs are lazy. Okay, no. Just no. They are the opposite of lazy. They're hyper-efficient. What they absolutely cannot stand is pointless, useless work. If a task doesn't make sense, they are not going to waste a single ounce of energy on it. And can you blame them? Myth number 2. They're cold, emotionless robots. Again, totally off base. They feel things just as deeply as anyone else. They just don't wear their hearts on their sleeves. Their love language is action. They're the friend who will show up at 2 a.m. to fix your flat tire, not the one who sends a bunch of heart emojis. And the last big one, they're rebels who hate rules. The truth is a little more nuanced. An ISTP has no problem with rules as long as the rules make sense. They'll follow any rule that has a clear, logical purpose. What they push back against are those dumb, arbitrary rules that just get in the way of getting things done. Okay, so with the myths out of the way, let's open up the ISTP's toolkit. Let's really look at the powerful strengths they're born with, and maybe even a few ways they can make those tools even sharper. So what's in the toolkit? You've got this amazing calm under pressure. You have rock-solid practical thinking, lightning-fast reflexes, and this incredible natural talent for just solving problems. It's no wonder you see so many ISTPs thriving as engineers, pilots, entrepreneurs, or emergency responders. They are built to act when it counts. But, of course, every strength has a potential shadow, right? That same need for action means they can get bored, really bored, with routine. Sticking to a long-term plan can feel like pulling teeth. And yeah, sometimes that I-can-fix-anything confidence can lead them to take some pretty big risks. So what's the secret? It's all about balance. It's not about changing who you are. It's about adding to your arsenal. What happens when you pair that incredible love of freedom with just a little bit of discipline? Or when that spontaneous action is guided by a simple plan? When an ISTP pairs their powerful logic with a sense of broader responsibility, man, they become just about unstoppable. All right, we have covered a ton of ground here, so now I want to turn it back to you. Let's do a quick identity check. Is any of this ringing a bell? Does this sound like you? Or maybe someone you know really well? Just think about it for a sec. When everything's on fire, are you the one who stays cool? Do you really only learn things by actually doing them? And have people ever called you quiet, but then been blown away by what you can do? If you're sitting there nodding your head right now, well, there's a good chance we're talking about you. Because at the end of the day, it really boils down to this one simple truth. The world is full of talkers, but while everyone else is talking, the ISTP is doing.
एक कदम विकसित भारत की ओर।